Saturday, September 17th. It goes down, I guess. Triple G, Canelo Alvarez 3, T-Mobile Arena, Paradise, Nevada. I'm going to give a short breakdown of this video because I really feel like it comes down to two things. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. Let's get right into the content. Before we jump into that, please be so kind, like, subscribe, bell icon for notification. We've been doing crazy numbers on the channel lately. I want to keep growing. You guys have been helping out tremendously with that. And I'm grateful. So thank you. Shout out to you if you subscribed recently. Shout out to you. Let's get into it. So as I mentioned before, the top, Triple G, Canelo Alvarez, Saturday, September 17th. This fight really only comes down to two things. Triple G's jab, Canelo's body work. Now, if you want to discuss other factors or variables, the chins, right? Triple G has a dumbass chin. So does Canelo. No one's getting stopped to the body, or excuse me, no one's getting stopped to the chin strap. You're not going to see any one-shot knockouts, anybody getting brutalized to the melon. I don't see it. Even at Triple G's advanced age, and I feel like he is slowing down just a little bit, he still maintains a really good chin strap. Probably one of the best in boxing. It's definitely up there. With Canelo Alvarez, we know that he just went through it against Dimitri Bivol, dared to be great. And I want to talk about dare to be great. This is just a little segue. Or diversion, whatever you want to call it. How come every time someone says, hey, I dare to be great is after an L? How come no one dares to be great and then they whoop somebody's ass? That's just food for thought. Dare to be great and then get a W. Say, I'm daring to be great and then get the victory. Mikey Garcia dared to be great and got beat up. Obviously, you know, Canelo dared to be great. But then again, how do you dare to be great? You went up to 175 where you competed before against Sergey Kovalev and knocked him out in brutal fashion, had him hanging over the ropes like Rolly, like Adrian Broner. And then when you took a loss against Dimitri Bivol, who was far more skilled than you in that particular evening, then you're daring to be great. But I digress. As I mentioned before, it comes down to two things. Triple G's jab, Canelo's body work. Let's start off with Triple G. The thing that concerns me most about Triple G is his inability to take it to the body. We're going to go to the clips right here. This one's a shorter clip. Sergey Derevyanchenko. They fought, I believe it was 2019. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to look it up right here. But if you take a look at the clips, you see Sergey, double left hand, catches Triple G to the body. Anytime you see the elbows come down in front of the body, hands just below the chin, and retreating and backpedaling, you know this individual has been hurt bad to the body. If you go back and watch this fight, I actually think Derevyanchenko won this fight. And he was able to hurt Triple G to the body multiple times after being dropped, I believe, in the first or second round. What's interesting about the clip that I have here is Triple G runs into the ref. The ref is kind of in the way. That's a saving grace because it gives Triple G an opportunity to recover. Derevyanchenko, in my opinion, doesn't do a really good job following up. Triple G's retreating. He's hurt. You put the hands on the hips. You'll see him, you know, push the shorts down, trying to recover a little bit from the body shot he just absorbed, and then start jabbing and backpedaling because the shot took place just with 10 seconds left in that particular round. Moving over to the Ryota Murata fight, which is Triple G's last outing. He got that done by stoppage, which I predicted. Ryota Murata's only opportunity to get that done had to be in the late rounds because Triple G in that fight showed a really questionable gas tank. And then he had some really questionable, not questionable, but I feel like him and Jonathan Banks had an interesting method about approaching the fight. In some rounds, Triple G would come out super aggressive and then take his foot off the gas crazy in the back half of the round. And the other rounds, he would come out, not do anything for the first half of the round, and then step on the gas. Things he did really well in the Ryota Murata fight were his jab was still really, really dominant, accurate, and powerful. He felt comfortable fighting on the inside. Ryota Murata really couldn't hurt him. Let's take a look at the clips right here. But one of the things that I find to be interesting is even though it didn't completely debilitate Triple G like the Derevyanchenko shot did, Ryota Murata felt very comfortable. Who's a decent body puncher. He can get to the body pretty well, good leverage on the shots. Getting down to the body, having it be available, and doing work, doing damage on Triple G to at least make it interesting, at least make him pause in spots, stop and think, gather himself, and catch his breath. Now, why is all of this important? Canelo had a bad outing. I think that he was arrogant in his approach. When I broke the fight down, I think what I said was about what's my man's name, Dimitri Bivol, that, you know, his keys to victory were his jab, which he utilized his ability to maintain his composure, which he had an opportunity to fold on. Canelo was inviting him into the ropes. And the third thing was to dominate the distance, which he did effectively well. This is where, Triple G can kind of get into trouble, and this is what opens up the body attack for a guy like Canelo Alvarez with Triple G, because despite the fact that Triple G has a really amazing jab, heavy jab, power jab, he plants his feet. So if you can slip that shot and dig to the body on multiple occasions, or rip, hop, left, right, a la Errol Spence, then you can cause a lot of trouble for a guy like Triple G, because he's not taking it to the body well. It is what it is. I don't know if it's the age, the mileage, the division, whatever it is. He's not taking it to the body well, and Canelo has to get back to that. Now, he struggled with this with Dimitri Bivol, because Dimitri Bivol used a lot of movement with his jab. Take a look at the clips right here. He's able to move, pop Canelo in the face, and just take a slight, subtle step back to maintain that range and distance, dominate the distance, and make it very difficult for Canelo to close the distance. We also said, just a few seconds ago, that he fought arrogant. I said in the breakdown of this fight for Canelo and Bivol that if Canelo did not utilize defensive variety, then he was going to get cut up, because coming in with the high guard and trying to load up on shots, we saw how that worked out. He just really kind of got his ass whooped. And the thing that shocked me most about the fight is, and I thought this was the #1 X factor for Canelo, is his experience, the ability to adjust, knowing that he's been in there with some of the best in the business, and then that if he got kind of caught in a weird situation or scenario, that he'd be able to switch up and adjust against Bivol, but he never did. He kept wanting to come in with a high guard, limited head movement, lacking defensive variety, and he got cooked for it. He'll be able to kind of right some of those wrongs against a guy like Golovin, because it's a different style of fighter. Golovin's there to be hit. Like I said before, he has a great chin, but the body is there to be damaged, to take advantage of. That's a vulnerability for Triple G. Now, switching sides to the jab for Triple G against Canelo. Canelo was susceptible to the jab because he believes in his skills and abilities to a ridiculous extent, and that's always going to be a benefit until it disallows you from making adjustments at key moments. We mentioned the Dimitri Bivol fight. Look at the video of the Kamil Sherezmeta. He's jabbing him ridiculously effectively well. This is his best fight with Jonathan Banks. Deryachenko was questionable. Sergey Deryachenko, Kamil Sherezmeta, he looked great. Head movement, footwork was good. The jab was lethal, accurate, on point, and he scores a knockdown with the jab. Against Raydo Murata, I think he took a step back, and I think that may have had more to do with the long layoff going into that particular bout, but I digress. If you look at the jabs landed in the Sherezmeta fight and the clips that you see here, he's effective and he's good with it. But if he's going to have the same success against a fighter like a fighter like a Canelo, he's got to move his feet. The head movement's got to be there, and you just can't be a stationary target. Change up your delivery system, the angle, maybe utilize the up jab. Make sure your combinations are crisp, which typically what Triple G is: the uppercut, the left hook to the body, and the right uppercut. Those things are typically pretty crispy. He keeps the elbows nice and tight. And then that weird ass punch where he punch you in the top of your shit. Yep. And he blasts you with that. But Triple G is going to have to become a boxer, in my opinion, to beat Canelo Alvarez. And in my opinion, Canelo Alvarez is a better boxer, so to speak, than Dimitri Bivol. He's not better. He whooped his ass. Then Triple G. But if Triple G he has to throw 8 million jabs. He has to throw 40 jabs around. No bullshit. With a variety and movement. Extendo jab, power jab. He's got to jab his ass off. And he has to utilize movement. He has great power, but he's not stopping Canelo because we know he got a crazy ass chin beard too. And then when it gets in tight, because Canelo loves coming in with the high guard, closing the distance, and then trading shots, he's got to rip Canelo with uppercuts and left hooks viciously. Because in the 2 fights they had, I don't think he ever got that forehead or the top of the head yapper off. I don't think he ever got that off. But the jab for Triple G and that body work, you guys saw the examples, and then we know what kind of body puncher Canelo is normally. One of the fights that comes to mind is the Caleb Plant fight. Now, Caleb Plant fought a different fight than Bivol. He tried to utilize combination punches. Then he tried to counter Canelo to death, but he didn't have the power to kind of get that off. So he would allow Canelo into his body. Canelo did such a great job from the beginning of the fight to the end, just brutalizing Killer Plant, who was in kind of a poor man's shell and just getting destroyed to the body. And then you see in the stoppage, Canelo fakes to the body with the left hand, goes upstairs, catches Killer Plant, and drops him. And the only reason those clips aren't in here is PBC, Showtime, they don't play around. I'm tired of getting videos taken down for a 4-second clip. But if you guys go check it out, you'll see what I'm talking about. Good variety from Canelo there. He admitted frustration, but he made the adjustment, and he was able to get it done against Caleb Plant. We didn't see that against Dimitri Bivol. So here's what I'm going to end with. Canelo Alvarez, I think, is going to fuck up Triple G. Triple G, this is a like a homecoming fight, you know, a farewell fight. I think he's going to come in great shape. I know the fight's going to be at 168, a division Triple G's never competed in, so there's another aspect there. He's going to come in. He's going to utilize the jab, hopefully, you know, have a better concept of range and deploy that as well. But I feel like if Canelo comes in, and I feel like he's going to come in with a vengeance because he's catching heat all over the place for getting his ass whooped by Bivol and then running from the rematch, which did happen. If you Canelo fans, shout out to you. I said up front after it was over, I didn't want to see it again because it wasn't going to be any different than it was before. But anyway, I digress. But I feel like you're going to see Canelo as a man on fire, a man on a mission, and a guy with little to no respect for Triple G. He'll probably eat a couple jabs, maybe a left hook, maybe a right uppercut. But as soon as he starts getting the timing, his reaction time, the ability to get off to the left and throw the lead uppercut and rip to that center shot, that stabbing shot to the gut of Triple G, I don't think Triple G is going to stand up to that. I think he gets stopped, dropped possibly and stopped for the first time in his career. And if he doesn't get stopped, then it's going to be a brutal one-sided beatdown where there's going to be no controversy on the scorecards and no conversation about who won and this, that, and the other. But I will tell you this. If Canelo comes in here and looks bad and it looks really competitive against Triple G, which I do not think it should, if that is the case, it's time to go. 31, 32 years of age. I think his birthday's in July. He'll be 32. It's time to go after that. You need to blow away Triple G. You absolutely need to blow him away. This cannot be a competitive fight. I'm not checking for that. Triple G is 40 or is about to be 40. You're 32. Well, a lot of mileage, so I will say that, and that's another conversation for another day. You need to blow away Triple G. Shout out to him. He out here with a great tan, beat up Rayo Murata, beat up Camilo Meta, looked questionable against Sergey Derevyanchenko. Shout out to Jonathan Banks. I think he's doing the best that he can. But I think right now, for these two combatants, it's Canelo Alvarez. Triple G, at this point, it's a light touch, a tune-up. Shout out to Rayo Murata. He got beat up, but Canelo needs to blow him away. He should blow him away. If Triple G comes out and looks sensational against Canelo Alvarez has some thinking to do. Let me know what you guys think. This is your boy JG. This is a Punch Report. Like I said before at the top, like, subscribe, bell icon for notification. Let me know what you guys want to hear next. I'm out.